All right, Nick, let's talk about the Detroit Lions. Obviously, the stars of Hard Knocks. They've been an encapsulating team this year. They've really garnered everyone's attention. The addition of Aiden Hutchinson and a couple other key players, Jamal Williams, ton of really interesting pieces on this team. They could be a candidate to flip from the most improved team. Obviously, having the second overall pick this past season, I think that they easily could jump way down in the rankings and potentially, with a little bit of luck, could make a potential playoff push if they get lucky. But we have a couple of stories about things that the Lions are doing. We talk about they're building a culture there. It's becoming a different style of organization than past years. Before we get in there, Lions fans, there's been a lot of very interesting Lions teams over the histories. I'm not going to necessarily say there's been too many great Lions teams, but there's been a lot of great players. And we want to know in the comments below, who's your favorite Lions player that you watched growing up? Whether it's Barry Sanders, that's probably going to be a huge one. Calvin Johnson, Megatron, Glover Quinn, Herman Moore, tons of old school players, new school players. Lions have a litany of guys to choose from. Let us know in the comments below who's your favorite player to watch growing up as a Lions fan. But Nick, what are the Lions up to? They've been doing some interesting stuff.
Yeah, so this is according to the comeback. At this point in the NFL preseason, it's not common for head coaches to want to give up control of their team as they fight to get ready for the upcoming season. But that's exactly what Detroit Lions head coach Dan Campbell did on Monday. The Lions held an hour-long practice on Monday without any coaches present besides Campbell, who just watched from the sidelines. The players ran all the drills and did all the work themselves in a purely player-run practice, according to MLive. He told us this morning that the players were going to go out there and run their own practice. Lions left tackle Taylor Decker said, "Here's the team scenarios that we want to get done, and you guys are going to go out there and run the show." I think it's awesome to do because honestly, on a game day, we're out there. We got to communicate. We have to be accountable to one another. Decker said it's not something the team has done before, and Campbell didn't give him a lot of direction beforehand, but he thinks the player run practice went well. All right, Maya. So I'm curious to see how your thoughts went on this because it's obviously an interesting thing. But when I go back to my college playing days, one of the things that whenever we were in training camp and situations like that, coaches before every practice, at night, in meetings all the time, they'd always approach us to be like, "Hey, you got to be real accountable. It's on you to run the show. It's not on us, not on the coaches. You as the players, all the accountability rides on you. It's on you to handle your business and go out there and get your job done. Because us coaches, we can't tell you what to do all the time. You got to go out there and do it on your own." And then we go out to the practice field, and literally every second of every minute of every hour of practice, the coaches would be telling us exactly what to do, exactly where to stand, exactly where to put our hands, exactly when to drink water, exactly when not to drink water, and so on. So they'd always preach this accountability and say, "Hey, it's on you guys to get it done." And then they go out and practice and not allow us to do anything on our own. That's why when I first read the story, I kind of laughed because I remember playing. I always thought in my head when coaches would do this, like, why are they telling us to be accountable when they're never going to let us do anything on our own? We can't make our own decisions for anything. And that's why I think this is really cool what Dan Campbell is doing. He's like, "Hey guys, listen, I would love to go out there and bite kneecaps, but my kneecap biting days are done. You're gonna have to watch those plays on YouTube. It's on you guys to go out there and run the show and be personally accountable and go out and do their job." And that's what I like about this because they're still going to film practice and grade it and see who's going to make the team and who's not going to make the team, who's going to win starting jobs and things like that. So the players had to know this. So I think this was just a really cool deal. And I'm really excited to see what this does for the Lions long term. What'd you think of this when you first saw this?
I think it's good because at this level of football, it's like any profession, when you're starting out like rec league, if you told a bunch of rec league football players to run practice themselves, half the people would be standing there looking around. They'd be looking for the snacks on the sideline or something like that. There's not a lot of potential anything beneficial coming out of that. But when you are dealing with like true professionals and not even professional, these are the top of their career. These are guys that for the most part, know what they have to do. They know what they need to work on. They have a game plan. They have a roadmap. Most of these guys could come in without a coach every day and work through a practice schedule on their own, and they'd probably be fine. they would be okay. Now there's more cohesion and game planning that the coach is going to instill, but as far as one practice goes, they're very, very capable of doing this. And I think one thing I like about this is, like you said, it was kind of off the cuff, unplanned, at least on the players' perspectives. This helps your like unspoken leaders or guys that are hiding in the shadows that are like strong locker room guys or something like that to rise to the top and really having to start like speak out. You get put in a room and someone's like, all right, work on this. You have 30 minutes to complete this project. Go. There's always going to be the one guy that stands up and is like, all right, guys, you need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do this. And that's when these guys come to the top and you see who your leaders are. So it's a good test for the Lions to see what kind of leaders they have out there. Obviously, you'd imagine guys like Jared Goff are out there taking a strong leadership role. If you've watched Hard Knocks, Jamal Williams, the new running back for the Lions, has been a very outspoken leader, a vocal leader for the team. There's a couple other guys out there as well. So I think this is an interesting thought experiment for the Lions to conduct. I think there's a lot of outcomes that could come out of this that they could use to grade and see who they want to keep for the future. Who has good leadership qualities, who can work better, when nobody's watching, all the kind of things that you want to know about your players. So I really like this from the Lions and Dan Campbell. I think it is a very interesting thing. And you might want to see other teams do it a little bit more often to, see what they can get out of their guys.
So one thing that just popped in my head right now, I wonder if this was less for the players and more for the coaches, right? Is Dan Campbell basically seeing how the players react to see how all the position coaches and the coordinators have taught the game plan and the plays and how to execute? I mean, because I like going back to my training camp days, there would be a lot of times the coaches are on the field unless it's like a full-blown scrimmage. So a lot of times if it's a player that a coach is really trying to hype up, they're like, hey, make sure you do this, or hey, make sure you get your depth, do these steps, or they'll yell it or whatever. And they'll constantly coach you up even during, a practice. So I wonder if like deep down, this was actually a move by Campbell to kind of like see what his coaches were doing and seeing if they were doing a good job teaching the players. Either way, I think it's an awesome move and a great deal, but I'm really curious to see how this works out. But and Dan Campbell, for people that think he's not a smart guy or he doesn't have like next level 3D chess, this seems like a really, really smart creative move. And I applaud Dan Campbell and really the entire Lions leadership for empowering this, because I think it's really cool.
All right, Nick, it's time to get your internet privacy back today on every device you own in any country you want. Don't let anyone but you control your internet. NordVPN keeps you safe from prying eyes wherever you go online with their military-grade encryption. Is your favorite Netflix or streaming content blocked in the US? You can simply connect to one of the many countries available with NordVPN and get the access you need.
That's right, Maya. So right now, get our exclusive NordVPN deal here at nordvpn.com/SMI. It's risk-free now with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, get that exclusive deal, nordvpn.com/SMI.